Do you know that changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results, but only if you are willing to stick with them? It's a book that offers a proven framework for developing and improving your everyday life. The strategies are practical on teaching you how to form good habits and break bad ones, as well as how to master tiny behaviors which lead to impactful results. And this is regardless of where you are presently. So I'll be sharing some insightful excerpts and highlights from this book. Small habits make a big difference. Many times, it's easy to look at the big picture and underestimate the importance of making small improvements. In the end, it's more like a compounded effect because it's the little changes, the tiny habits that compound into something more meaningful and worthwhile. A lot of times, we often dismiss small changes because they do not seem to matter. Results to changes we make never seem to come quickly, and so it becomes easy to slide back to old routines because the pace of transformation might be slow. If you eat an unhealthy meal today, the scale doesn't change so much. If you work late at night and ignore your family, they'll still be nice to you. If you procrastinate what you're supposed to do today and you do it tomorrow, you might still create some time to get it done. But then, this is how we dismiss the tiny impacts of the things we do. For instance, if you're a student preparing for an exam and you require like a minimum of 300 study hours in order to be successful in the exam, studying an hour a day might seem insignificant, but just imagine being consistent at it. Over time, you develop the habit of studying an hour a day. So it's even better to be consistent at studying an hour a day than when you study for 3 hours today, you don't study tomorrow, you create time next tomorrow to study for 2 hours. No, he's saying follow the routine. A lot of times, following a particular routine might seem boring. It might just seem like, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. But if you're trying to stay focused on achieving a goal, then following that trajectory and monitoring your step-by-step progress, no matter how little, no matter how tiny it is so important. And so another important excerpt I'm sharing here is about breakthrough moments. A lot of times we hear success stories, but sometimes what we aren't told are the number of failures that comes before the success. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. Most of the time, in the early years and middle stage of any quest, there's often a valley of disappointment where you might seem like you're not meeting your target, you're not achieving your set goal, you're not getting to that point, that stage where you want to be. You expect to make progress, you want things to just go smoothly. But when we understand that the most powerful outcomes are delayed most times, it can have a major shift in our outlook of things. So we'll make a few changes, we expect to get results quickly, and then when we don't see tangible results, we decide to stop. But in order to make a meaningful difference, habits need to persist long enough to break through the plateau of latent potential as described by the author James Clear. And this is more like the stage where nothing seems to be going, nothing seems to be making any sense. It just feels like, you're exacting all the pressure, you're doing all the work, but then no tangible result. Then if you want to be religious, you might want to say, I don't feel like this is the will of God for me. If it's the will of God to take this exam, why am I not just passing it? Or if it's the will of God to do this business, then why am I not getting it right? Or if it's the will of God to be at this particular stage in my life, why am I not getting it right? But the will of God doesn't mean that it's going to come easy. No, it's not going to come easy or smooth. Or the will of God doesn't mean that you get it on a platter. No. If it's God who puts the idea in your heart, and the idea is still a burning desire, or the need to achieve that goal, that set goal, or the need to achieve that purpose, it's a burning desire in your heart. It's God who has placed it in your heart. I mean, if it's God that puts that idea in your heart, then don't quit just because you feel like, oh, you're not getting your expectations met at the moment, maybe because you're not getting immediate results. No, press on. This simply summarizes what the plateau of latent potential means, like my understanding of what it means from the book. I mean, complaining about not achieving success despite working hard is like complaining about an ice cube not melting when heated from 25 to 31 degrees, because it takes up to 32 degrees for an ice cube to melt, and you may have been hitting it from 0 degrees and you got to 25 and you're like, what, I'm still not there, and then you now get to 31 and you're like, it's all over. Meanwhile, you just need 1 more degrees for the ice cube to start melting. You might feel like your work is wasted, but no, it's never wasted, it's never in vain. And this reminds me of the poet Amanda Gorman during Joe Biden's inauguration. She gave this poem that caused the world to just hear about her. A lot of people who knew nothing about her heard about her, were fascinated by the poem. I mean, even her Instagram account skyrocketed in a matter of 2 hours. But then people might feel like, oh, it's an overnight success. But no, from her track record, you could see that she has been on this trajectory. She had been on this path for a while and had been making step-by-step progress until she was actually discovered and asked to come present a poem. And then she became an overnight success. Would you say she became an overnight success? No, she had been on a path, she had followed through on a path, and the opportunity came for her to present herself, and what the world got to know about her. People who never knew anything about her got to hear about her. Like the ice cube, all the actions actually begins at 32 degrees. When you finally break through the plateau of latent potential, people will call it overnight success. The outside world, they only see the most dramatic event rather than all that preceded it. No one wants to tag along with you when you're still struggling. No one wants to know about how you're doing your step-by-step process. It's only you. Be much more concerned with your current trajectory. On goal setting, more than setting goals, it's the system we put in place in order to achieve those set goals that matters the most. If you had a process that could work to guarantee a successful result, and you follow through on the process, you can still achieve the goal, even if you never actually set it. If you set a goal and you had no system in place, it's very unlikely that you would achieve such goal. So it's much more important to have a workable system and process in place than just setting goals with no system to follow through. I mean, goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. If you're an entrepreneur, for instance, you might have a goal of attracting more clients to your business, but if there's no system in place to get that done, and you're not even paying attention to your current customer base, I mean, you may even end up losing your current customers than attracting more. But what if you decided to do something as little as following through on your customers, providing quality service for them that makes it difficult for your competitors to win them over? I mean, for instance, if my fashion designer just calls me out of the blue to check how I was genuinely doing, I mean, the next thing that would probably come to my mind at the end of the call would be to remember that, oh, I have a fabric, I need to make this dress. Okay, I need to see my fashion designer. So basically, Atomic Habits is simply about developing those tiny habits, those daily habits that would eventually build up success. So I hope you enjoyed my excerpts and highlights from this book. It's a book I'll definitely recommend to you. I mean, if you're trying to break bad habits, if you're trying to develop good ones, it's a good book to start off with. I mean, there are a lot of books on habits, but James Clear really did a great job on this. The strategies are actually very practical and relatable, and I'm sure you find it worthwhile. So thanks for staying tuned. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it was insightful, informative, and educative. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to my channel by hitting the subscribe button, and I would like to have a conversation with you in the comment section. So thank you for staying tuned. Bye for now. I'll see you in another episode.